Budget for the financial year 23-24 will be announced. What is the Pune small scale industry expecting? There are around 3,500 MSME registered with MCCIA. With us we have Director General of Maratha Chamber of Commerce and Industries Agriculture, Prashant Kirbane, sir. Yes, sir. Continuous surveys are being done by MCCIA along with these industries. What do they expect from this budget?
I think if you look at the MSMEs in India, they contribute about 30% of GDP, 45% of our exports, more than 12 crore jobs. Pune is a major hub for MSMEs. When we interact with MSMEs, there are two sets of expectations that have come forward. One set of expectation deals with taxes, another set of expectation deals with credit. Look at the taxes. The first expectation is, when we look at startups, high-tech startups, all of them get 3 years of tax exemption. 3 years of tax exemption. When you want to promote MSME, an MSME, that is non-tech MSME, is also a startup. And hence MSMEs ask, why don't you give us also, in the same manner, 3 years of tax exemption? That's the first request. The second request is, as an MSME owner promoter, when I sell my property, I have to pay capital gains tax. But look at it this way, when the property that I sell, if I make the proceeds investment into MSME itself, which is what you would also want to promote as government, then why don't you allow me tax exemption on the capital gains on my property sale if I'm reinvesting that in MSME? So these two requests on the tax side. Let's look at the credit side. Credit is very important for MSMEs because there is a 25 trillion rupees of credit gap for MSMEs, which means that much worth of credit MSMEs take at a very expensive rate. First thing required for credit is, if you look at CGTMSE scheme, Credit Guarantee Trust for Micro and Small Companies, under that scheme, an MSME can get credit collateral free up to 2 crore rupees. Now that's been running for some time. It should be elevated to 5 crore rupees is the first request on credit. The second request on credit is a lot more affordable. Working capital issues, delayed payment issues can be resolved if you use Trades platform. But every company does not use Trades platform. So if you automatically push every invoice from GST portal to the Trades platform, then all the MSMEs would benefit and they would resolve the delayed payment issue. That's the second recommendation on credit side. The third and last recommendation on credit side is, whenever an MSME makes an application for loan to the bank, it must be online so that every loan application is traced, tracked, and further efficiency is brought in terms of formal credit to MSMEs. So these are the two sets of expectations on taxes and credit from MSMEs of Pune. I'm very certain those would also be the expectations from MSMEs across the country.
No doubt that the heavy industry plays an important role in generating employment. What about MSMEs?
So look, big companies are very, very important because that creates cascading positive impact. But MSMEs are supremely important. Today, as per the last survey, the more than 11-12 crore jobs are provided by MSMEs. The most number of jobs are created by MSMEs. And most of the people who work in MSMEs are people from the bottom up pyramid. There are skilled people, but there are also some unskilled people who are getting skilled at MSMEs. You know what, interestingly? Most of the skilled people who go to the companies with experience are those who have worked in MSMEs. So they are also helping skilling for the nation. And hence, MSMEs are a very, very important segment when it comes to employment generation. And hence, supporting MSMEs is supporting the cause of employment generation in our country.
Contribution in GST as well as GDP.
So if you look at it, as the chief economic advisor today mentioned in his economic survey, the contribution of MSMEs in GST has increased year on year. So they are net contributor to indirect taxes. If you look at the GDP, 30% of our 273 trillion rupees this year, or about $3.5 trillion this year, would come from MSMEs. So they are significant contributors to the nation's GDP.
Any important step or announcement so that youngsters, young entrepreneurs are also attracted that they invest and start new MSMEs, new small scale industries?
So apart from the tax and the credit demand that we mentioned, if you focus on ease of doing business, make it a lot easy to get in the business and make it also easy to get out if one wishes to get out of the business. That would help a lot. Apart from that, at a very macro level, there are three things that matter a lot. One, reduce the cost of logistics. Number two, reduce the cost of energy. Number three, reduce the cost of formal credit. If you focus on those three macros, if you focus on ease of doing business, if you help on those two requests from the tax side and these three requests from the credit side, MSMEs would contribute even more to this nation's growth.
So you have heard MSMEs in and around Pune are expecting a lot from this budget. This is Pankaj Khelkar in Pune for India Today.